Hi, and welcome to Birds with Bottle.
We've got a thing about wine.
And we want you to have a thing about wine too.
And this week we've left the Bordeaux's, Burgundies and Barolos in the wine rack, and we've pulled in some of the more unusual red suspects.
Either because of the grape that they're made from or the country that they come from.
And they might not be as familiar as the Beaujolais, the Barberas, the Brunellos,
But we promise you that they're all exceedingly approachable.
unlike the elusive Kaiser Sose.
Yeah, so in fact it would be a crime if we didn't show you these wines.
So let's get on with the lineup and see what we've got in our identity parade.
For our first suspect, we've got this Zweigelt. It's from Hans Igler and it's available from the Wine Society at $8.95 a bottle. And it's the 2009 vintage.
Yeah. So this is from Burgenland in Austria, and it's had 8 months in oak. Thank you. An unusual variety. And
Yeah.
really you only find it in Austria, don't you?
So what's the evidence on this, Mel?
Well, it's from a top region. Burgenland is, one of the top 3 regions in Austria, and it's a top grape variety. There are 2 main red grape varieties in Austria, and this is one of them.
Well, it's promising lots then.
Yeah.
It does smell quite nice on the nose. Fresh, a little bit green.
It is lovely, isn't it? Light and fruity. Not. There's no oaky smell. There's
No.
nothing. And we're looking at unusual wines, but we didn't want anything too weird.
No.
We were looking for wines that are lovely, and this is lovely.
It's bright, it's
refreshing.
light, it's red fruit.
So, of varieties that people know, what do you think this is most like?
What? I'm getting a bit of Cabernet Franc on this.
Yeah, actually.
And
yeah.
I really love Cabernet Franc, so I'm really liking this one.
Yeah. It's a red fruit, bright,
Yeah,
light,
that's like
Very-
sort of
very-
slight
yeah.
greenness.
yeah. So it's a bit of a case of identity theft, I think.
Yeah, but in a nice way.
Oh yeah, in a lovely way.
In a lovely way.
So our next wine is Hocker Père et Fils. It's the 2004 vintage, and this is the second wine of Chateau Moussard. I love Chateau Moussard. Now, this is widely available. It's $10.95 at the Wine Society. It's $11.95 at Slur. It's $11.99 at Majestic, and it's $12.99 on Amazon.
So, available quite a few places.
Yeah.
And this comes from the Lebanon. It comes from the Becker Valley.
Mm.
So, unusual place.
Yeah, and the grapes, it's Cinsault, Carignan, Grenache and Cabernet Sauvignon.
And those actually wouldn't be the sort of usual characters you'd find in the same gang.
No, absolutely not.
So, let's see what they're doing
The
together.
first thing you notice is it's pale in colour, it's brownish. 2004, it's 7 years old, it's getting on. Gorgeous. Gorgeous smell, really aging.
Yeah, you can
It's
smell
not-
the age on the
yeah,
nose, can't
Not
you?
not as if it's old, but it's starting to become wonderful.
Yeah, bit of development.
Mmm. Oh. Almost unable to talk. That's so
It just really holds together so perfectly, doesn't it, that wine?
absolutely. And I love the wines from Moussard. They do sell them a bit older, so you get this fantastic development.
But it's still got quite a lot of freshness in there
Yeah.
with the age.
Oh, it's not at all old.
No,
It's just interesting and complex and
yeah.
fabulous
There's
dinner
so many
party wine.
things jumping out of it.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to find 1 or 2 adjectives that
Yeah.
will kind of complete that.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm getting strawberry. I'm getting some slightly spicy, savoury notes. I'm getting
It's definitely farmyardy and this sort of what they call tertiary, aging aromas. It's moving down the road of age. But I just love it. I mean, both of the wines, the first wine and this. But I know, you either love it or loathe it. There are people who do loathe it.
yeah, the Chateau Massard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, with the first wine now, it's had such a big price hike.
It has.
That it's putting it out of the reach of some people that normally, would
Yeah,
have enjoyed it before.
it used to be sort of £12, £13, and now it's what, £17.99 at least. Whereas this is an absolute steal.
Buy this. Right, the third wine in our lineup today, we've got Inera. It's from Waitrose, and it's $9.99 a bottle, and it's the 2007 vintage.
Yes.
So a few years on this.
Yes, and it's from the Thracian lowlands in Bulgaria.
Lovely colour. Look how rich that
Lovely,
is.
rich.
You can see that
Rusty.
bit of kind of
Yeah.
age coming into that, can't you?
That is a lovely
Yeah.
colour.
Now this is a regular Bordeaux blend.
Yeah.
It's Merlot dominant with Cabernet Sauvignon, but you've got an unusual country, and you've actually got quite an unusual price point for Bulgaria.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, that is, it's, well, you'd think it was steep, but actually the wine, you'll see, is delicious.
I'm actually getting a little bit of chocolate on this nose.
It's
here.
gorgeous.
Yeah, there's a bit of milk chocolate for once. It's usually dark, isn't it? Mocha on the
It is chocolatey. But it's not sweet.
no.
It's refreshing, it's dry.
There's some sort of strawberry kind of fruit there.
It is
There's a little bit of dryness on the tannin, but it's
It's
quite
the perfect
pleasant,
age, isn't it? It's absolutely drinking beautifully now.
And I'm getting some acidity going around my mouth
Yeah.
as I'm doing it, which is actually quite refreshing in the
It's-
mouth, isn't it?
I love it, absolutely love it. Actually, I love the last one, but I love this one as much. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
And it looks really nice
It
too,
does.
doesn't it?
But the
Simple.
label doesn't say anything, actually, does it? I mean, if you look at that front label, it says Inera, no grape variety, no nothing, you have no idea.
Yeah, actually there's not a
What's
lot on the back. In fact, this wine is practically travelling incognito.
Yeah, it is absolutely. But it's definitely worth investigating.
Definitely. So, it's on to our last wine. We've got this Mencia. It's called Escondite Perfecto, and it's from M&S, and it's $9.99 a bottle, and it's the 2009 vintage.
Now, there's quite a lot of talk on the street, that's the wine street, obviously, about Mencia. It's certainly within the wine press that,
And Ben Bierzo, where this wine comes from, is certainly an up-and-coming region, isn't it?
yeah, absolutely. I predict that Mencia is going to be the next big thing coming out of Spain.
Do you know? I'll go along with you on that.
It's quite a sweet smell. It's a bit like white pepper.
Yeah, oh
Yes.
yeah, and I love that actually as a note on a wine. But there's not a lot on the nose,
Not a lot of
except for
fruit.
maybe a bit of warmth of
No.
alcohol, and that's coming from that 14%
Yeah.
that's in there.
Mm.
But it may be that we didn't open it, we didn't open it a long time ago, and it may be just a little bit youthful nose-wise, mightn't
A
it?
lovely rich flavour though. And there's a bit of aniseed or licorice. Licorice. Lovely.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and I'm getting that slightly coconut note that you get from oak. I'm getting some
All sorts of things.
sort of desiccated coconut.
Mm.
I'm getting some damsons. I'm getting even a little hint of raspberry
Yeah.
creeping in there. Maybe
Yeah.
a bit of plum.
Actually,
It's-
I'll tell you what I'd like to see. I mean, yes, we could have opened this earlier, but also I'd like to see this with a couple of years of cellar age.
So what you'd like is it to be banged away for a while.
Yeah, I'd like it to be banged away for a while.
Well, we've given you 4 wines today that have all been suspects that we've put on trial.
And now it's up to you to weigh up the evidence.
See you next week.
See you next week.